All right, thank you so much for joining us with an interesting session related to the professional certifications for accountants, auditors, and anti-fraud professionals. Today, we are gonna guide you over some certificates. There are so many certificates in the market. If I can tell you, just Google professional certificates for accountants, auditors, or anti-fraud examiners, you will see hundreds of certificates. Some of them are accredited, some of them we don't know who created them, some of them they are actually fraud certificate, the meaning they are giving you a certificate related to fraud, but the certificate itself is fake certificate. You just pay the money and you get the certificate which is worth nothing in the marketplace. And some certificates are really accredited, but we have no idea about them because they are only accredited in Europe or in US or in Africa or in specific countries. So what I did, I selected some of the certificates that I'm familiar with, some of the certificates that I earned, and I would like to go over them so that way you get an understanding of the potential of these certificates. And based on your background, you can decide which is the proper certificate for you to take. So let's start first. If you are actually working in accounting, or if you would like to go to the domain of accounting, there are so many certificates. You can get CPA, Certified Public Accountant, which is, this is if you are gonna be more doing, financial reporting, or if you are gonna be a financial auditor. This is one certificate by itself. But if you would like to go into really core accounting, the meaning I'm speaking about managerial accounting, I'm speaking about the accounting department, I'm speaking about actually cost accounting, or decision making based on accounting, managerial accounting. So these are actually the positions that will qualify you. And if you want to earn certificate related to that, the best certificate in this domain is actually the CMA certificate, Certified Management Accountant, by the Institute of Management Accountants. So this certificate is really, really interesting certificate. Why? Because they focus on two areas. The first part is focusing on the financial planning and performance and analytics, trying to help you understand exactly how can you do the proper budgeting, planning, cost accounting, analysis, decisions making. And after that, it's about strategic financial management. So if you think about it, the first section is related to accounting, the second section is related to finance. But this is a very nice comprehensive certificate. It took CMA so many years for them to actually create these guidelines related to the proper skills that you need to have related to accounting. I remember I studied CMA in 1999. This is the first time I studied CMA, which is was about 21 years ago. And when I studied that, it was interesting because at that time, we had to study so many subjects, they are not directly related to accounting. But over the years, the IMA, they have changed and they make the certificate more focusing on the core practices related to accounting and related to finance. So it's two parts exam. The first part is actually 4 hours. You have 100 multiple choice questions. And after that, you have, a 1 hour for 2 essays. So you need to write, you need to be good in writing. So for example, one of the questions they will give you in the exam, here is 2 firms, this is the subsidiary and this is the parent company, and you need to do consolidation. You have 30 minutes, try to do it. So they are gonna give you an actual essay. Okay, we are gonna buy or we are gonna rent. Which one is better? And they will give you all the financial figures and you need to figure it out. So CMA will require from you different skills than any other certificate, because you have to be able not only to answer the questions and have knowledge of the subject, but you need to be able to, in a short period of time, organize your thought, do the calculation and make a decision and justify your decisions in it. It's a very interesting certificate and there is potential in it in the market. So again, if you are studying it, you need to understand exactly what are the topics covered of it. Any professional certificate, I always recommend to my students, before going to that certificate, go and look at the outline, what they are going to teach you in this certificate, for you to understand exactly what you are going to get. So here you can see the outline that you will get in financial planning is related to external financial reporting. It's related to planning, budgeting, forecasting. Performance management is related to cost management, internal controls, and technology and analytics. If you love accounting, if you love finance, this is the right certificate for you. But if you are bad in numbers, or if you don't like to remember equations, or if you are not good in actually doing analytical work, where you are going to actually make decisions based on numbers and accounting and equations and decisions making, this is not the right certificate for you. So focus. Someone will say, yeah, do you think CMA is much better than CIA or other certificate? I will tell them it depends. If you would like to be as a decision maker in an organization using accounting and financial figures to make decisions, this is the right certificate for you. But if you want to be in an organization where you are more conducting audit or doing risk, or you are actually more in managerial positions where you are dealing with management rather than financial and accounting numbers, I don't think this certificate is going to be the right certificate for you. So the second one is focusing on strategic financial, related to the financial statement analysis, related to corporate finance, decision-making based on financial number, risk management and investment decisions, and professional ethics. So this is what they focus on in the two parts. And the certificate, it's really valuable in the market. Let's watch this video.
What good is having a seat at the table if you don't have the confidence to speak? Get the certified management accountant credential and you'll know how to turn information into insights and data into decisions. So when the boss asks a question, you won't shrink from the spotlight, you'll shine under it. The CMA certification, you've got to earn it.
You really got to earn it. When I studied, you know, these are some of the books that I studied from a long time ago, the Gleim book, or, you know, at the same time, you know, the IMA book, because I teach both using Gleim and using IMA. So these books are really interesting. The amount of knowledge that I had to go over when I start actually studying for the CMA 20 years ago and over teaching this certificate. I've been teaching the certificate now more than 19 years. I've been teaching CMA. And it's very interesting. I teach CMA in University of Sharjah. I teach CMA before with the Morgan. I teach CMA as well, you know, to different organizations in-house. And I have delivered CMA to more than 500 of my students over the internet over the last 19 years. So it's a very interesting. You can go and see some of my old videos that I have for CMA when I was doing online training live. So in that way, I have videos related to part 1 and some videos related to part 2. But I did, you know, a lot of you know, content related to CMA. It's a very interesting certificate. Now, why you need to study CMA? Because in the Middle East, they found out if you have CMA, your potential for future advancement is much higher. They say 97% you are going to earn more than other, you know, accountants who are not earning this certificate. At the same time, you need to understand that not all the time you can take the exam. There are certain windows where you can take the exam in, and here are the fees. Currently, IMA, they are having special offer before the end of June or in the middle of June. So try to go to their website and look at it and see exactly what you can get. Now, this is the right certificate for you if you want to be an accountant. Now, what if you said, yeah, no, I don't want to be an accountant. I am interested in actually auditing, or I'm interested in consulting to do process improvement, or I'm interested in understanding how can I help the organization implement much better risk management practices. Well, there are additional certifications you can earn. So you can actually become certified internal auditor. I got you know, exposed to this certificate long time ago. I remember I studied this certificate. I started studying this certificate in 2004. And that was, you know, my 3rd year in college. I was not actually even graduating yet, and I started studying for the CIA. And I took my CIA and I passed the certification in my 4th year in college. But I took it based on the old system. If you remember the old system, it was, you know, 7 hours day 1, 7 hours day 2. So there are 4 parts. Every day you need to take the exam for 3.5 hours lunch, then 3.5 hours, then you go sleep, then you take it again, because they are offering the certificate only twice a year. But today we can see that the CIS certificate is becoming global. You can take it in any testing center. And today, because of Corona, you can take it now over the internet. So you can schedule your testing and you can take it from the comfort of your home. But we can see the potential in the Middle East. You can see in the Middle East, we have hardly around 4,000 certified only. Compared, look in US, how many certified we have compared to in the other countries. So that way you can see, you can actually earn the CIA certificate and it will add value to you. But the challenge in the CIA, the questions are coming from the moon. They are not coming from the book. They are not coming from all these books you study. If you buy the IMA book, or if you buy, you know, Gleim books, these are not where are the questions are going to come from. These are really useful for you to study from. the questions are coming from the standards. For you to understand exactly how can you pass this certificate, you need to actually focus on what the standards are saying, not what is happening in reality or practice or inside your organization. And this is where when I teach CIA, I always go to the standards and I make sure my students, they understand the information in a structured way, so they will be able to answer the questions correctly based not on their understanding, based on what the standards say. It must be done or it should be done. And this is the important thing when we are focusing on understanding certificates. So many professionals who are teaching certificates all over the world, they say, we have experience, we have the certificate, we are qualified. I tell you, no. The only person who's qualified to teach a professional certificate is a teacher. Why you need a teacher? Because this teacher is going to help you focus on what questions will come in the exam and how they will come in the exam. What is the structure of the ideas? How you need to find the keywords for you to be able to pass any professional certificate. It's not about going and learning the knowledge or showing you how smart I am in these topics or bragging about my achievement and my implementations. No. The objective always should be on the learners to understand the key concept that they need for them to be able to ace the exam, to be able to score and pass from the first time. So when we are speaking about the CIS certificate, the CIS certificate now is actually 3 parts. So you have part 1 and you have part 2 and you have part 3. And with part 1, it's actually, in my consideration, is the most difficult part. Why? Because if you are internal auditor, you need to actually go and understand the theories. Usually you understand the practice of the theories. You need to understand, how, what are the attribute standards, how you need to think about it, what are the definition, what are the controls. There are so many talks, so many concepts you need to understand. And then they are going to ask you very tricky questions about it. So usually when I teach CIA, I start with part 2. Part 2 is easier than part 1. Why? Because it's more the practice of internal audit. It's all understanding how can you plan risk-based audit, how can you conduct risk-based audit, how can you report risk-based audit, and how can you do the follow-up, which is more practical because if you are working in internal audit or you are exposed to internal controls and the implementations, you have much better understanding for you to grasp the idea. And when the question will come in the exam, it's easier for you to be able to understand it compared starting with part 1. But definitely to take part 2, you need to cover some ideas from part 1. So when I teach CI part 2, I tell my students first, we go and cover some ideas in CI part 1. So you know the core concepts, then we are going to start with CI part 2. And the third section, which is most of my students, they stuck in forever, which is the business knowledge. Why? Because they cover so many areas not related directly to your work as internal auditor, focusing on information technology, on information security, focusing on financial management, focusing on accounting, focusing on different kind of skills and leadership and management skills that you need to understand. And this is why sometimes, because there are so many content in it, where you are going to study a lot of information, sometimes it will take time and it's confusing for students who are actually don't have background in accounting or IT, because they will lack certain knowledge and skills in these areas, and it will be hard for them to study. But these are actually the 3 sections. Now, if you are thinking about actually taking the exam, now it's available over the internet. You can study from your home and schedule your testing. But be careful, as of now, until now, IIA said it's available until the end of July. And later they are going to update us if they are going to extend that. And the good news that the testing centers in most of the city now, they are also open. So in case you want to take a mask and go to a testing center, you can do it there. This is an option. Let's see a video about the certificate.
Hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and I'd like to talk to you today about why you should become a certified internal auditor. The CIA is the only globally accepted designation for internal auditors. It is the standard by which internal auditing professionals demonstrate their knowledge and competence to facilitate and manage today's complex internal audit responsibilities. What does that really mean for you? In short, it's a professional advantage for internal auditors at all stages of their careers, from student to chief audit executive. To date, more than 122,000 people in 120 countries around the globe have earned the CIA designation. While everyone has their own individual reasons for earning the CIA, I want to share with you some of the most common reasons I've heard from CIAs around the world. First, the CIA is a way of distinguishing you from your peers. If you're competing for a job or a promotion, having the CIA can set you apart from your competition. Another benefit is that the CIA is recognized around the globe and will give you instant professional credibility with internal and external customers. One of the greatest benefits is the knowledge and skills you'll gain as you prepare for the CIA exam. The CIA syllabus tests the core skills and knowledge you need to make an immediate impact on the job and excel as an internal auditor. Many people keep their CIA study materials as reference resources for years after earning the CIA. Related to your increase in skills is the confidence boost you'll get when you pass the comprehensive 3-part CIA exam. This is unbiased third-party verification that you meet or exceed the standards set by internal audit employers and experts. The CIA also demonstrates your passion and commitment to the internal audit profession. Pursuing certification is a big decision, and preparing for the exam takes hard work, dedication, and self-discipline. By earning the CIA, you show employers that you possess these valuable traits. Another benefit of the CIA certification is that you are motivated to stay on top of trends and standards due to the continuing professional education requirement. This ongoing training provides fresh perspectives and keeps your skills sharp. One final benefit that I can't miss is the CIA's impact on your career and your earning potential. According to the IAA's 2014 compensation study, on average, internal auditors with one or more certifications drew salaries more than 25% higher than their non-certified colleagues. The CIA is a really great way to take you where you want to go with your career. I hope I've helped you make a decision to pursue the CIA certification. If you'd like to learn more about the
So this is actually the cost of the CIA if you would like to learn more about how can you actually take the exam. It's not cheap. You have to be a member. If in case you would like to get the discount, then you have to pay for the membership. And you can take the exam in English or in Arabic. The content is the same. It's only the language, a challenge. Like I prefer to my students, I say, if your English is good, take it in English, because the Arabic version sometimes is confusing, but you have the option of taking it in Arabic or taking it in English. So if you are thinking about becoming internal auditor or doing consulting related to internal audit, this is the gold certificate, the best certificate that you can actually take. I have been teaching the certificate for more than 15 years. And in case you would like to join our upcoming course, we have a course coming up next week for CIA Part 2. It's going to be from June 8 to July 8. And we are going to cover for all the concepts in CIA Part 2 only. And here are the different packages that you have. If in case you have the material already, or in case you would like to get plus where we give you the GLIME materials and the test bank, or in case you want to take our VIP package, which is I highly recommend it, where we'll have session one-on-one privately before you take your exam, and we'll give you additional videos summarizing the concepts so you can watch them before taking the exam. This is an interesting photo I found while I was preparing for this presentation. This photo was taken around maybe 7 years ago, or I think more, maybe 8 years ago. So this is a photo for me with Dr. Glime, actually the author of Glime materials. So I was attending, I think, the IMA conference in 2012, I think. Yes, 2012. I was attending the IMA conference in US, and I actually had the chance to meet with Dr. Glime. So I thought I can take a photo with him. So this is interesting. It will bring memories. So I was actually attending the IMA conference at that time because I was the first one to receive the IMA Young Professional Award by actually contributing to the financial professions at that time. Anyway, all right, let's actually go to the next certificate. The next certificate is related to risk management. In case you work in risk management, or in case you work in internal audit where you do audit over risk management, or in case you work in management positions where you are actually involved in implementing ISO 31000 or COSO ERM, this is a very good certificate for you to earn, to actually demonstrate your skills in understanding the risk management concepts and understanding how can you audit the risk management processes inside the organization. So this is a global certificate from IIA. IIA established this certificate in 2012 because they recognize that you as internal auditor, you need to have a knowledge related to auditing risk management practices. So for this certificate, you need to actually take the CRMA exam, which is 2 hours exam, 100 questions, and you need to actually pass the CIA Part 1. But it's not necessary to pass CIA Part 1, then take the CRMA. Always my approach, tell my student first, take the CRMA exam, pass the CRMA exam, then go study CIA Part 1 and get it later. Anytime later, you can get it. It's not mandatory for you to take CIA Part 1, then take the CRMA. You can take the CRMA, pass the CRMA, then get CIA Part 1, then you will be certified as Certified Risk Management Assurance. Now, the concepts covered in the exam, the good news that the concept didn't change from 2012 until today. But IIA announced that in March next year, they are going to change that. First, they announced October this year, but because of Corona, they moved it to March next year. So they are going to actually change the exam completely. The meaning you are going to require not only CIA Part 1, you are going to require CIA Part 1, 2, 3. You need more years experience. They are going to change the content of it to include control self-assessment, to include the new ISO 31000 2018, the COSO ERM, new one. Everything is going to change, and new II standards. But currently, actually, is based on the old outline, which is covering understanding the corporate governance and risk management inside the organization, focusing on the principle of risk management processes. Then what are your role as internal auditor in providing assurance and providing consulting over the risk management practices. The certificate is really the easiest certificate available currently from IIA, where you can actually study and earn it in less than 2 to 3 weeks. It's a very achievable currently. And this is why, this certificate is really valuable for you in the market, because if you look at the market, they say it will increase your potential 51% as internal auditor based on IIA study. It also will demonstrate your knowledge related to risk management and governance when you are in front of the audit committee or board of director saying, I would like to conduct audit or help actually the implementation of risk management practices inside your organization. Now, the certificate is actually, there's an application fee if you are a member, and there's exam registration fee. So this is the current cost for it. If you are interested in earning the certificate, I've been teaching the certificate for around maybe 7 years. Since they started the program, I was one of the early students who studied for CRMA in 2012 and took it here in the Middle East. And at that time, I was qualified to actually submit it. In the old days, you can submit a form saying, I have so many years of experience, and you can earn it without taking the exam. So I didn't submit that form. I actually waited until that waiver finished, and I submitted my actual application, and I went to take the exam. So later, when I'm teaching the certificate to you, I can tell you that these are the areas they focus on, and these are the type of questions they are gonna ask in the exam. So if you are interested in taking this certificate, we are doing this certificate online from July 17 to July 25 over the weekends. So we have 2 weekends where we will cover all the concepts related to this certificate. And in 2 weeks, we can prepare you to be able to study and pass the CRMA exam. So also you can check our website, www.openthinking.ae/CRMA or CIA for you to enroll in these certificates. So now we discussed so far, 2 important domains. If you want to be in accounting, what you can do, or if you want to be in internal audit, or if you want to actually audit the risk management practice. But what if you would like to be in different domain? What if you would like to be actually working in fraud investigation? Or if you would like to work in fraud risk assessment, or you want to actually work in the investigation department? The golden certificate that you can actually earn in this domain is the CFE, Certified Fraud Examiner. This is the gold standard in anything related to fraud examination or investigation, or figuring out exactly how can you implement anti-fraud strategies inside your organization to prevent and detect fraud. So this certificate is really interesting because the skills you are going to gain is completely different than the skills we discussed before. Before we are speaking about accounting and auditing. Here we are speaking about you need to gain some skills related to legal part. This is why we say, if you want to be a fraud examiner, you need to be a lawyer, accountant, criminologist, and investigator. We are not saying you need to study what they study, but you need to have the same skills they have. You need to be as a lawyer to understand the legal side of the investigation. You need to be as an accountant to understand the financial schemes that can happen in fraud. You need to be like criminologists to understand how can we implement the proper internal control, compliance, and risk management to be able to reduce the chances of fraud and try to change the culture inside the organization. And you need to be an investigator to be able to look for the clues, collect the evidence in the proper way, conduct the interview in the right way, and document the evidence and present them to the court for testifying later. So these are the different skills that you need to have if you want to be certified fraud examiner. This is why the ACFE, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, created the certificate where they say the certificate is actually 4 parts. Every section is 2 hours exam, 100 questions. And they focus on one section related to fraud prevention and deterrence, one section related to financial transaction, and one section related to fraud investigation, and one related to the legal elements of fraud. ACFE, they have created the certificate more than 30 years ago. And they created a certificate where they covered, all the global best practices related to fraud examination. Fraud examination is a methodology, it's not science. It's about understanding how can we actually follow the right practices when we are conducting fraud examination for us to be able to do our proper examination. And it's a very interesting certificate if you would like to earn it. It's a gold standard in fraud examination. And if you would like to earn the certificate, this is what you need to do. You need to study 2,000 plus pages. When I took my certificate long time ago, I studied the certificate in 2006. When I did my certificate in 2006, like 15 years ago, I actually read these 2,000 plus pages. I bought the fraud manual and it took me 6 months to read it, page by page, and I answered more than 1,500 questions. Then I took the exam over the weekend and I was able to clear the exam. It's not an easy process. I wish at that time I knew that actually there is a course I can attend in 4 days and I can be certified. And later, I signed with ACFE and I became their authorized trainer for the last 6 years, delivering courses with them where I can help professionals exclusively in UAE and Oman and Malaysia in actually, passing the CFE exam within 4 days. Our delegates, they attend our class within 4 days. This is live face-to-face course. And they can pass the exam. Now we are doing it online over 1 month, where over 4 weeks they can pass the exam. But actually we have so many delegates who pass the exam with us over 4 days. In 4 days, we cover all the core concept, not everything. We cover all the core concept in these books, and you can earn global certificate in fraud examination. There is a huge value for the certificate in the market. Why? Because of Corona and what's happening in the recession, the amount of fraud that's happening is on the rise. And this is why we need so many professionals in auditing, accounting, in internal control management to be able to have the skills to actually help the organization in fighting fraud. And this is a video about the certificate. Let's see the video.
The WorldCom and Madoff cases are 2 of the largest frauds in the 21st century. Both of them, and many, many more, were uncovered by certified fraud examiners like Harry Marnodoulos.
By applying solid fraud examination skills, I quickly discovered that Bernie Madoff was running a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme.
As a certified fraud examiner, also known as a CFE, Markopoulos learned those anti-fraud skills when he passed the CFE exam. He is just one of many who have earned this globally recognized credential.
I am proud to be a certified fraud examiner. By obtaining the credential, it demonstrates your expertise at catching bad guys.
The CFE credential denotes proven expertise in fraud prevention, detection, and deterrence. Because occupational fraud does not discriminate, all departments within an organization are vulnerable.
I would recommend becoming a certified fraud examiner because the information that you learn and the opportunities to get information are very helpful in applying those to your job duties.
Joining the ACFE as an associate member is the first step. All members enjoy many benefits: access to the latest anti-fraud training and education, unparalleled networking, exclusive articles and reports, a subscription to Fraud Magazine, and more. For both certified and associate members, it brings your anti-fraud knowledge to a new level.
The benefits of being involved with the ACFE and having my credential have just really helped me, one, within my own job, being able to apply the information that I've learned through the ACFE. It's allowed me to do a better job within my organization, and also allowed me to have opportunities for moving up within my organization.
Certified fraud examiners earn 25% more than their non-certified colleagues. The CFE credential enhances your marketability and job security. It also helps advance your career. 75% of Fortune 500 companies employ CFEs, and the certification is recognized for hiring and promotional purposes by law enforcement agencies around the world, including the FBI, the US Secret Service, the Western Australia Police, the City of London Police, and the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Additionally, there are more than 140 local chapters worldwide.
The CFE credential has taken and brought me a lot of benefits from personal investigations and getting into different areas and understanding the criminology side of it, the law side of it, and the finance side of it.
Once you join the ACFE, you may be eligible to begin studying for the CFE exam. Upon passing the exam and earning their credential, CFEs are armed with a solid understanding of fraud prevention and detection, making them the watchdogs of a successful organization.
I've come across a number of investigators over the years that can do a certain part of an investigation very well, but they lack certain qualities. And even when I started, it's good to have a good understanding of what needs to go together for an investigation.
The CFE credential does just that. As ACFE founder and chairman Dr. Joseph T. Wells imagined in 1988, the world needed a new kind of corporate cop. People who not only know how to investigate a white-collar crime, but also how to prove it. By passing the CFE exam and maintaining their membership requirements, anti-fraud professionals walk away with a well-rounded knowledge base comprised of fraud prevention and deterrence, fraudulent financial transactions, fraud investigation, and legal elements of fraud.
CFE candidates can study directly from the fraud examiner's manual, or they can purchase the computerized prep course. I use both in my preparation for the CFE exam, and I highly recommend them to you.
CFEs are fighting fraud in more than 150 nations, helping to make the world a better place. Become a certified fraud examiner today and change your career, your company, and the global economy. Find out if you qualify for membership by visiting acfe.com/CFE. I'm Stacy Keach for the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners.
So just to explain to you, in case you are interested in becoming certified fraud examiners, currently, we have moved from conducting face-to-face courses, and we are doing actually live online courses. We have conducted one last month, and it was very successful. And we are doing another one starting next week. But it's not too late for you to join, because if you join now, we can actually register you and send you your material this week. So it's going to be from June 7th to July 1st, where every week we cover one section over 3 days. In the evening, we have the sessions from 7 to 9, and you can take the exam for that section over the weekend. So with that, within 4 weeks, you can actually earn the CFE. This is the shortest certificate after CRMA, where you can earn it in less than a month. And we cover all the subjects, in depth, and in that way you can attend them and you can study them and you can do the practice exam. And after that, you can pass the exam within a month. And these are the different packages that we have. In case you want to do self-study for CFE, it will cost you around $1,450, because you have to pay membership for ACFE around $200, exam fee $400, CFE prep course $995, and you need to buy the course workbook, or you can attend the class with us, which is include all that, plus attending the class with us over 26 hours online, where I will guide you step by step, and I highlight everything for you, and we give you the summary highlighted with the questions in the exam. Or you can attend our live courses. We are going to start our first live course in September. So you can join us in September face-to-face, as within 5 days, you will be able to be certified. So what is the value of the certificate in the market? In the latest survey by ACFE 2020 compensation guide, they say CFEs, they earn 34% more than non-CFEs. But in the Middle East, you can see the value is 63% higher. So there's a huge demand and value. In our last course, we have so many delegates, they join. And in our upcoming course also, there's a huge demand for this certificate in case you would like to earn it. We have been teaching the certificate for more than 5 years with the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And so far I have delivered more than 50 courses, the largest outside US. And we are so happy to inform you that we have more than 700 professionals globally who passed the exam with us. So if you would like to actually earn this global certificate, I will invite you to join our upcoming course. And this is how we are conducting our online courses. It's a very nice interactive course. We have so many delegates, they joined it from all over the world. And I'm so happy to tell you that 70 plus delegates of our last CFE exam review course online, they passed the exam with us within 4 weeks. Within 4 weeks, you can be certified. So in case you are interested in a global certification, the gold standard in fraud examination to learn the skills, this is the right certificate. Unfortunately, it's not available in Arabic. But when I teach the subject, I teach every concept in Arabic and in English. So you will be able to understand word by word. I say this word in Arabic and this word in English. So in that way, we will cover it. Also, recently with our online courses, we are creating special sessions in Arabic, only additional for the delegates who are from the Arab country, for us to help them in going over the main concepts in the exam. So we are customizing that also. All right, let's go to the next certificate. Now, if you are interested in earning global certificate, the gold standard in anti-money laundering, where you will be able to understand exactly what are the rules, what are the concepts, what are the practices that you need to implement when you are conducting anti-money laundering investigation, when you are helping the organization implementing compliance related to anti-money laundering, where you are conducting customer due diligence, or when you are trying to follow the proper global guideline related to anti-money laundering, this is the right certificate for you. So CAN certificate, Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialist, it's a very interesting certificate. The cool thing about the certificate is only one part. It's short certificate. Some individuals, they can attend it over 3 days or 1 week and they can be certified. If you are speaking about the internet, they recommend, and if you are attending an online course, around 2 to 3 weeks for you to be able to take it. If you take it, for example, with ACAMS, it will take around 6 weeks for you to be certified. But the exam is actually only 120 multiple choice questions where you need to score more than 75% in the exam, and you will be able to qualify and earn global certification in anti-money laundering. And this is the cost for you. It's not an expensive, it's not a cheap certificate, it's an expensive one. So that way, if you would like to put the investment, if you are working in banking, if you are working in financial transactions, if you are working in financial institutions, currency exchanges, if you are working in any area where you have requirements related to anti-money laundering, or you would like to do consulting work related to anti-money laundering, or if you would like to earn it for your future career, this is the right certificate for you. This is the global standard in anti-money laundering investigation. There are so many other certificates available in the market, but currently this certificate is the known certificate, the gold standard in this domain.
ACAMS, first and foremost, is a global membership organization. Our focus really is supporting financial crime professionals and AML professionals through knowledge sharing and skills development. I'm happy to report that we also have over 64,000 members in 175 different countries. Our conferences really focus on bringing timely, relevant topics to our members. Second, we really try to make sure that ACAMS is the sole source for information. So whatever our members need, they can come to ACAMS and find it in one place. And finally, I think the added benefit is the opportunity to network, build relationships, share best practices with their peers and like-minded professionals in the AML and financial crime community.
if you are interested in earning skills and learning about anti-money laundering, and at the same time, currently the certificate is actually, the exam can be done online. So you'll be able to take it from the comfort of your home. Look, everyone is moving to the internet, right? Everything is going to be online. So this is why we are starting now conducting more courses online in all these certificates. Now, let's speak about different domain. In case you are interested in earning certifications more related to IT, more related to information systems, more related to cybersecurity, ISACA, they have so many solutions for you. Our focus today is not on the certificate, but I have so many requests to speak about the certificate. So let me speak about it. CISA, a Certified Information System Auditor. This is the gold standard certificate for you if you are specialized in information systems audit, meaning if you do IT audit. If you do IT audit, this is a perfect certificate to teach you over the main core concept that you need to understand and the proper standard that you need to follow when you are conducting IT audit. But this is not our focus today. Our focus in understanding something that's currently more critical than information security. So let me explain to you the concept so you understand. There are two concepts in the market. The first one called information security, and the second one called cybersecurity. What is the difference between information security and cybersecurity? Information security is about protecting the information. They can be in paper format, they can be in a system, they can be in actually the mind inside the individuals. So information security is about how can we implement the system to protect all the types of information inside the organization from anyone actually accessing them or stealing them or actually destroying them. This is information security. When we speak about cybersecurity, cybersecurity is all about protecting the digital assets inside the organization. The meaning, we don't want anyone to control our servers, our machines, our elevators, our operation, our backend. Controlling the actual digital assets inside the organization. It's all about cybersecurity. And recently, the focus more and more, not only on information security or information system security, is on cybersecurity. How can we secure our digital assets? How can we make sure no one is controlling our operation and back end? This is why ISACA created a very interesting certificate for internal auditors. See, this certificate is not for IT professionals. Be careful. If you work in IT and you would like to take any of this certificate, maybe this is not for you, unless you are interested in doing audits related to information systems or doing audits related to cybersecurity inside the organization. So ISACA created this certificate called Cybersecurity Nexus. When they created the certificate, I was one of the first to actually apply and take the certificate because it's very interesting. The concept you are going to learn is covering all the fundamentals related to cybersecurity. And after earning the certificate, you can say you are CIS Cybersecurity Nexus Fundamental Certificate, where you are going to demonstrate to your employer that you understand all the basic concepts and the principles related to cybersecurity, because cybersecurity today is very critical in our operation.
We live in a time where technology is present in nearly everything we do. And a few simple keystrokes can cause undeniable damage. One insurance company decided that they will not be among the victims of cybercrime. They took steps to invest in their people and training, building an elite team to tackle these difficult problems. They understand that the cost is too high. The private information of their clients, members, patients, and employees will not be lost. That care will not be disrupted. That the impact of cybercrime is more than just about dollars and cents. Sometimes it cuts much deeper. It can cost jobs, but it can affect our personal lives as well. This insurance company understands that having a team of highly trained cybersecurity professionals is key to protecting their members, their coworkers, their friends, and even their families. It starts at the top with their Chief Information Security Officer. Her right hand is the Information Security Manager. He's been tasked to manage the team and ensure the best security practices are being used. Measuring the company's security risks and threats is the Vulnerability Analyst. The penetration tester is tasked with evaluating threats and attempting to penetrate the company's systems, networks, and data centers to find any weaknesses. Managing and utilizing the products and tools used to keep the company's systems safe is the incident responder. And rounding out the team is the forensic examiner, who is responsible for analyzing and preserving company data, as well as investigating network intrusions. Ready to learn more? Click on the person to see how they accomplish their tasks and how CSX help them ensure that their organization's data remains safe.
So this is actually the certificate. The certificate is only focusing on the fundamentals. Later, ISACA created different kind of tracks that you can take if you would like to be practitioner, or if you would like to do this or that. So in that way, you focus more on the core operation related to cybersecurity that you are going to be handling. Like you saw in the video, different positions and different skills that you need to earn for you to advance. But for us as internal auditors, we are not IT specialists. We don't need all that. This is the foundation for internal auditor to understand, for them to be able to demonstrate that they have the basic knowledge related to cybersecurity concept, related to understanding the systems, the network, the incident response, the security, what kind of a prevention system we need to have, what kind of detection system we need to have, what kind of layers of defense we need to have inside our organization to ensure that we are securing our digital assets. It's a 75 questions, multiple choice, 65% the passing score, and you can take the certificate over the internet. So the certificate is available. The cost is not that expensive. The study, it will be a little bit technical for you if you don't have IT background. But I have delivered this certificate for so many years, and I try to my students to make sure that I explain all the IT concepts using videos. So every concept we go over in IT, I say, okay, look at this video, look at this video. So it will make more sense to them because they don't have IT background. Most of them, they are internal auditors, but it's achievable. I have studied for the certificate for around 3 weeks, and I was able to pass the exam. And you can do the same. Usually we offer the course around 2 days, face-to-face, but when we are doing it over the internet, it will be around 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So this is the gold standard certificate if you would like to earn certificate, not in cybersecurity, but in the fundamentals of cybersecurity for internal auditor. With this, I would like to thank you all for attending our session. We have went over so many available certificates. Of course, there are so many other certificates. You are going to tell me, talk about this, talk about that. Yes, but these are the certificates that I have experience with, that I have went over, and I can tell you that they have value in the market. With this, we are going to end our recorded session.